helped me reach 1,500 subscribers. The music was loud enough to drown out real conversation, the kind of noise that fills a room so no one has to sit with their own thoughts. Laughter spilled from every corner, glasses clinked, and smiles were worn like carefully chosen outfits, polished, practiced, and just a little too tight. The night was meant to be about my wife Lily. A celebration of her promotion, her entry into the executive circle she'd worked so hard to reach. 4 days she'd been radiant, talking about her success, her future, her momentum. Every time she said we, it sounded less like a shared journey and more like a polite habit she hadn't broken yet. I'd poured myself into the planning. I bought the wine she loved, the kind she only drank on special occasions. I ordered the flowers she always claimed made her feel seen. I reserved the rooftop venue she'd mentioned in passing months ago, the one with city lights stretching endlessly in every direction. I wanted the night to feel like a reward, like a moment we could stand in together and say we built this life. But as the party unfolded, that's not how it felt. I wasn't beside her. I was watching her, like a guest observing someone else's success from the outside. And standing comfortably at the center of her orbit was Ethan, her best friend. The man she always described as basically family. The one she swore was harmless, misunderstood, and entirely non-threatening. Except family doesn't send messages in the early hours of the morning. Family doesn't lean in close enough that their laughter becomes private. Family doesn't rest a hand on a married woman's waist and leave it there just a second too long. Ethan was everywhere in our lives. At dinners, on trips, during holidays meant for family. Every time I questioned it, Lily brushed it off with a smile and a laugh, telling me I was imagining things, telling me I was insecure. That night, though, the illusion cracked. I saw her at the bar with him, bodies angled toward each other, faces close enough that their breath must have mixed. Her fingers curled around his arm with a familiarity that made my chest tighten. When she noticed me watching, she didn't pull away. She didn't look embarrassed or defensive. She smiled, slow, confident, untouchable. A smile that said she knew exactly where she stood and exactly where I didn't. Something inside me finally gave way. Not with a scene. Not with anger. Just a quiet, exhausted acceptance. I walked over, glass in hand, and waited until their laughter faded. The music still pulsed behind us, the party carried on, but in that small space between the three of us, everything went still. I looked at Ethan, then at Lily, and spoke evenly. Let's stop pretending. Tonight you choose. Me or him. For a brief second she looked surprised. Then she laughed. Not awkwardly. Not nervously. It was a sharp, mocking laugh that turned a few heads nearby. She studied my face like I'd told a joke that didn't land. You're serious? She asked. I didn't waver. I am. Her laughter softened into something colder, almost indulgent. She turned to Ethan with a half smile and said, "This is what I deal with." Then she faced me again and said the words that rewrote my entire life. "You're temporary, David. He's forever." She didn't spit them. She didn't shout them. She said them calmly, as if stating a fact she'd known for a long time. That was what made them hurt the most. I nodded slowly. Understanding settled in where hope used to live. I slipped my wedding ring off and placed it on the table between us. Under the bright lights it looked small. Weightless. Meaningless. "Then forever can take care of you," I said quietly. Ethan looked uneasy, like this wasn't how he imagined things unfolding. Lily barely reacted. She took another sip of her drink, already emotionally elsewhere. I turned and walked away, past the whispers, past the curious stares, past the life I thought I had. Outside, the night air was cold and clean. The music thumped faintly behind me, but it felt far away. I stood on the sidewalk, breathing deeply, and realized I wasn't breaking. I felt calm. Lighter. That night I didn't go home. I drove until the city disappeared, until I reached the coast. I parked near the water and watched the sun rise, something I hadn't done in years. For the first time in a long while, I felt present. My phone buzzed with messages, friends asking where I went, notifications I ignored. One text came from Lily. "You're overreacting. Come back so we can talk." I didn't answer. Time passed. The divorce happened quietly, without drama or begging. She signed the papers without resistance. I heard later that she and Ethan moved in together not long after. I never bothered to ask how it turned out. What surprised me most was this: losing her didn't ruin me. It rebuilt me. I finally understood that I'd been fighting for someone who'd already made her choice long before that night. She just waited for me to catch up. Some truths shatter you. Others unlock the door you were too afraid to open. And sometimes, the moment that hurts the most is the one that finally sets you free.